Douglas Wiley on the left, 39.86, and Richard Davis with a 42.5 on the right. So key runs for each of those drivers. Going to be putting Douglas right now in 6th position, and I believe Davis going to be sitting in 8th. All right, Kurt Janish and Corey Pettit out there now. Janish working on a cone though. 41.1 for Janish on the left, and a 39.8 for Pettit on the right. Pretty close lights as well. 7:06 versus 8:01. So Pettit right now currently sitting in 8th position. Janish currently sitting in 5th. Janish had a pretty strong 41.2 on his first run on that left side, so it would have got him another little bit, but not enough to move up into the 4th spot probably. All right, next up you've got Zustin Cargill, Alexandra 37.172 plus 2 cones. Cargill is 40.675 plus 1 cone for each of those drivers. So Cargill, I believe, has some issues. Yeah, he's got cones on every run so far, but he's running pretty strong competitive times here. Just needs to get some things cleaned up out there. Moving on to some second drivers here in the STR. We've got Dave Roberts paired up with Tommy Saunders right now. Tommy's just glad he's got someone to run against. Tommy, I love you. 36.934 for Saunders and a 41.790 for Dave Roberts. Roberts, his first run there on the left side, but we're going to tack on a cone for you, Dave. But the 36.9 for Saunders on the right is going to move him into 4th position. He finds a bunch of times, skips all the way over the 37s, goes right into the 36s over there on the right side. So Saunders getting it done on his last run in the morning on that right side. All right, we got David Marcus on the left with a 40.8 and Brandon Davis on the right with a 40.0. 578 light for Marcus and a 613 for Davis. Very strong times there. Oh, I'm sorry, that's right. Looking at the 60 foot, so I saw the skid here between STR and Supertrack. That will do it. Next up is going to be Barry Langley and Jason Collette. Collette with a strong 581 light on his first run, and Langley as well, a nice 601. So Langley a 41.8, Collette a 40.3, but plus 1 for Collette. So 40.353 plus 1, and we're going to tack a cone on for Langley as well, 41.810 plus 1. So first run for each of those drivers. Go 43.372 from Adam. So good run there. 43.3, pretty strong time considering he's running an H-stock car. It's a 34.0 on the index, a 34.1 on the index. All right, next up we have David Whitworth and Richard Baker in the RT2. Whitworth out there with a 633 light, Baker at 805. Ford Mustang versus Mazda RX-8. We got a cone on out there for Whitworth though. It's a 43.655 plus 1 for Whitworth and a 47.153 for Baker on the right. Clean lights for each of them. Next up, so again 43.6 plus 1 for Whitworth and 47.1 for Baker. Because we had to announce those before they made their turn. Next up is going to be Jonathan Lawson, in the Mini Cooper versus Nick Myers in the Toyota FRS. Lawson a 44.806, and a 44.053 for Myers. So I believe that is probably, I'm guessing, H-stock versus C-stock right there with those two drivers. Strong lights, 6 lights for each of those two drivers. Right, Ricky Crow versus Tim Reinhardt. Crow driving the CRS 2000, Reinhardt in the FRS.
It's a good run.
Crow with a 42.933 with a 572 light. And Tim Reinhardt, a 43,261 with a 778 light over there on the right side.
I did not see any cones.
So again, 42.9 for Crow and a 43.2 for Reinhardt. David Sponberg, I'll get it right one of these times, regardless of which way I say it. And Mike King, our next driver in. Mike, one of the guys, I believe, on the Bridgestone tires. And let's see here, waiting for David on there. 45.820 for David in the Mini Cooper, and a 41.878 for King on the other side in the Mazda RX-8. Strong 579 light for King as well. By Brandon Davis in Superstock and Dave Roberts paired up here in STR. A little bit of a mismatch here between these two classes, a couple of two-driver cars out there and whatnot. Davis comes back with a 39.644 with a 644 light, 39.644, and coincidentally a 644 light. And Dave Roberts a 41.9 and a nice strong 517 light for Roberts over there on the right side. First runs for each of those drivers on each side of the course. All right, next up, Jason Collette and David Marcus, both S2000 drivers, both of the AP2 variety. Collette a 40.4 for Collette, and a 41.6 for Marcus on the right. So right now it looks like Jeff Walker's still in the lead here. Marcus currently sitting in third. Collette currently sitting in fourth, but he did have a cone on his first run on the other side. Next up is going to be Barry Langley in STR. He's running alone out there on the right side. Strong 532 light for Langley in the 2006 Honda S2000. And Langley a time of 41.180, 41.180. He'll be good enough for 8th position right now in STR. And he had a cone, I believe, on the left side on his first run. And right now, we're going to add a cone on for Barry on the right side as well. At the time of 42.894, very good time to do it. 42.894, but it's plus one. Strong 0.629 light for you as well, Adam. Brian Hertrack got a 50447 plus one with a strong 582 light, so 504 plus one for Brian.
Exactly where I got it.
42.8.
A little too far wide.
All right, next up we have Richard Baker. 45.425 for him on the left, and a 43.092 for Whitworth on the right. 727 light there for Whitworth. Baker with a 977 and 2.560 foot. Try to work on both that RT and 60 foot, I'm sure, but Whitworth strong times of both RT and 60. Whitworth currently sitting in third position in class. All right, next up, Nick Myers in the FRS, Jonathan Larson.
Moving over, it just makes
Myers, a 43.127.
Yep.
43.127 for Myers, and a 43.169
I like that. That felt
for
good.
Lawson. Good runs for each of those drivers. 617 light.
That would have been a good run at STF.
For Lawson. Good lights for each of them. Good times. Oh, we just got a contact in on Nick Myers' time in the FRS. All right, Ricky Crow and Tim Reinhardt. Crow on the right with a 42.842, 42.8 for Crow, and a 43.1 for Reinhardt. Ricky Crow going to move into the fourth position, and Tim Reinhardt currently sitting in the third spot. Oh, just got a DNF call though, I believe, on Tim Reinhardt. So Crow with that 42.8, nice 586 light for Ricky as well. All right, Mike King out there in the RX-8. Paired up with David Sponberg in the Mini Cooper. And Mike King working on a cone though on this run. It's a 47.8 plus a cone, 699 light. David, a 45.193. Nice time there, 45.193. Good enough for third position in class right now. Good job, David. Despite running an 8.62 light, you can probably find a little bit more on that light. We're currently sitting third in class. Adam Deffenbaugh currently sitting in top spot in class despite having a cone on his left side. All right, we're moving on to STR and slash Superstock. STR on the left, Dave Roberts, a 42.297. Brandon Davis, a 4.0106. So Roberts, strong 42.2. That's his fastest left side time by about a second and a half. Good run for him. Davis slows down a little bit with the cone. David Marcus and Jason Flett, STR drivers here. Marcus working on a cone, a 40.3 for Marcus over on the left. 39.844 for Collette, though. That's going to put him right to the top of the heat here in STR by 1.4 seconds. Good run for Collette. Oh, we just got a cone tacked on for Collette. So he's on 8, but it's going to be +1. So I'm guessing that's going to bump him back down, probably back in the second spot, battling it out with his co-driver, Jeff Walker. All right, we got Barry Langley over on the left side on a solo run, a 42.231, 42.231 for Langley there at STR. His last run of the AM. That's a 0.589 RT. Good reaction time for Langley. Strong 42.3, but it was unfortunately 491 red light for Adam. So he's still your class leader here early on in RT2. David Whitworth on the left, trying to hunt him down, as well as Richard Baker. Whitworth sitting in 6th position, Baker in 9th. Baker with a 1.2 reaction time though over there on the right side. Whitworth back first with a 42.717 with a 654 light. Can be good enough for third position still for Whitworth. Baker with a 46.8 +2 for Baker over there on the right side. So no help for him, I believe, because of the conage. All right, we got Jonathan Lawson paired up with Nick Myers here in RT2. Lawson a 43.401 with a 590 light. Myers a 42.8, but unfortunately a 443 light for Myers. So it looks like right now Lawson currently sitting in, going down the line, Lawson currently sitting in, yeah, he is in the top spot because of the cone issues that we have for a couple of other drivers. So right now Lawson is your leader in the Mini Cooper early on here.
I thought it was a cone, but it's not.
Okay, it looks like Tim Reinhardt just came in, I believe, with a 43.133, and on the other side we had Ricky Crow with a 40907 for Crow over there on the left, and a 43.1 for Reinhardt on the right. 542 light for Crow, and Ricky right now currently sitting in 3rd position. Oh, got a tough 489 red light for Mike King just leaving the line here on the right side. David Sponberg, a little bit more conservative, a 974 light. So early on here in RT2, we've got Lawson in the lead, Deffenbaugh in 2nd, Crow 3rd, Whitworth 4th. He currently sitting in 5th, and David Sponberg out on course right now, 1 spot out of the trophies. Got that mixed pairing there of a Superstock Davis over there on the left and Roberts on the right. They just took to the course. Paying attention to the RT2 drivers though. Mike King back first, it looks like, in the B-Stock car, beating the Mini Cooper back. Sponberg a 44.9 DNF and King a 41.5 red light. So unfortunately no help there for those drivers. Well, it looks like we got a DNF, actually double DNF on both of them now. All right, we got Davis in super stock over on the left side. Dave Roberts and STR, the two driver cars here for these classes here. Davis looks like he's going to be first back with a 39.607 with a devilish 666 red light. Dave Roberts over there on the right, a 42.874 with a 559 reaction time. I'm sorry, Davis, it wasn't a 666 red light, it was an RT. Sorry about that, get that going on you. So it looks like right now, it looks like Roberts currently sitting 7th position in class. Super stock here early on, Strano in the lead, Davis in 2nd, Lucas in 3rd. We got Barry Langley out there in STR, and looks like he's on a solo run. Meanwhile, Collette, wow, 39.806 for Collette. 39.806 for Jason Collette, and a 40.221 for David Marcus. So good runs there for each of those two drivers. David Marcus did have a cone, though, just pop up on me here. Collette, though, currently in the lead by 87 thousandths of a second over his co-driver, Jeff Walker, both of them in the S2000. All right, Barry Langley, a 41.250 plus 1, 41.250 plus 1 for Langley. 465 red light as well for Langley over there on the right side on the solo run. Even without the countdown, not enough to put you into the lead. Brian and Hertrack, 42.491 over on the right side with a very nice 503 light for Hertrack. Good enough to move him into the 3rd spot. About 4 tenths of a second ahead of Crow. All right, next up we've got Richard Baker and Dave Whitworth. Baker on the left with a 48.5 and Whitworth with a 42.6. So good run there for Whitworth, 42.635. Let's see, that's going to be a good place right now for Dave in the RT2 class. Richard Baker currently sitting right now in the 10th position. Pretty close lanes as well, 577 or 616. Right now, Myers is currently going to be sitting right now, I believe, in the, let's see here, the 8th position. And Lawson currently sitting in the top spot by 1.3 seconds. All right, Ricky Crow, red light, the 459 red light, with a 41.5 plus a cone. Tim Reinhardt, the 42.8 plus a cone, the 684 reaction time. So it looks like Ricky Crow currently sitting in 4th, and Reinhardt currently sitting in 9th position in class. All right, Mike King and David Stomberg, of course. RX-8 versus Mini Cooper battle here. King is probably going to be the first here.
Good job, Adam. Thank you.
580
Go all the way down, form another line just to the left of those guys, right there in that open spot.
Those drivers, I believe,
right ahead? Okay.